Aloha colleagues, this is Dr. Gibson. Welcome to OC 6005 Scope and Methods of Research. This video tutorial is made to help you on coding textual data using Microsoft Word and Excel. You will use this video tutorial to help you do the content analysis project for our research methods course. It's also helpful as a refresher if you chose to use content analysis as your methodology for your capstone project in OC 6005. So I'm going to go through a few things that are preconditions to starting some coding activities. So in order to use the information in this video tutorial, you have to make sure that a few conditions are met. So first off, make sure that the computer that you're using has Microsoft Word and Excel already installed on the machine. So just as a forewarning, substitute programs are not going to work for this particular assignment. Second, you will need to download Vmware. And this download will allow you to access your student virtual desktop through HPU. And this is basically being able to access the computer lab at HPU without having to physically be on campus and in the Learning Commons. So we're going to use certain features in Microsoft Word that are already installed in the computer labs on campus, but they're not available to students otherwise. So in order to download VMware, I'm logged in here on our Blackboard course. If you go to the toolbar here on the left, there is a link for Content Analysis Project. We're going to go ahead and click on that. And that's going to take us to a page with a few things of interest. So the first thing is the link for the VMware download. And there is an article here with step-by-step instructions on how to download VMware. There are differences for Macs versus PCs. So make sure that you choose the correct instructions and download for whatever machine that you're using. So I'm a PC person. There are a few different options for Microsoft Windows, so I had to double check what exactly my operating system was before I could choose the correct download. So make sure that you do that. And also, later on, you'll be prompted for the server name, and I have that highlighted here. It's cloud.hpu.edu. That's also listed in the article here, but just for your reference. So before we get started, I do highly recommend that you click on the link right above here for Content Analysis Project Instructions. That's going to go through the exact specifications for what the project is and what I'm expecting you to do and turn in. In particular, though, this video is going to focus on how to code the data for your content analysis. So make sure that you're familiar with the actual instructions first, and then the process of coding will make a little bit more sense. Down below here, I have the data sets for content analysis. You have two choices here, weight and obesity focus group transcripts or the body art focus group transcripts. You only need to choose one. I will tell you that one transcript is longer than the other, but it just depends on what subject matter makes a little more sense to you or is a little bit more interesting. Again, you only need to choose one. Once you've downloaded your VMware, I highly recommend that you create a folder on your virtual desktop that has these data folders. So whichever data set that you choose, I highly recommend that you put that in a folder on your virtual desktop. That way you know for sure that you're working with the correct file when you're in your virtual desktop. So again, I'm on my personal computer, and we're going to go ahead and go through some steps here. So I'm going to click out of Blackboard. I've already downloaded Vmware, so click on my home button and scroll down to where it says Vmware Horizon Client. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And here's where it says the server name, so cloud.hpu.edu. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Now it's going to prompt me to log in, and the login that you want to use is your email login and password for HPU. We'll go ahead and log in. And then I have two icons that pop up because I am an employee, but you will only have this icon that pops up, and it's the Labs and Classroom. So go ahead and click on that. And everything should be setting up at the moment. We'll give it a second. It's still logging in. Okay, so what we have here is the virtual desktop that if I were to log in at the Learning Commons, this is exactly what I would see. And I've created a folder here for example content analysis, and I've put in a few folders, or I'm sorry, files, so I can go through some examples. So I'm going to just pull up my example file. Okay. What I have here is the letter to the shareholders of Procter & Gamble. It's from their 2017 annual report. And this is the file that I'm going to be using to go through an example of coding. But what exactly do I mean when I say coding? So this is the process of going through a text document, looking for snippets of text that are relevant to the research that you're doing, and then assigning a code of your choosing that will help you identify the text later. So again, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to be using an example. It is the letter to the shareholders of Procter & Gamble, written by David S. Taylor, who is chairman of the board, president, and chief executive officer. So before I begin, I'm going to rename this file to today's date. We're going to rename this. And I'm renaming this because I find it super helpful when I'm working with data files. This helps me ensure that I'm working with the most current and most up-to-date file. I had a colleague who only saved her data and analysis on her laptop hard drive, and one night she forgot her laptop in her car, and unfortunately this happened to be the one night that her car got broken into and her laptop got stolen. So there were 3 years of data collection and analysis that were just gone. So please make sure not only are you saving your files with the most up-to-date information, but you're also saving your data and analysis multiple times and in multiple places. It will save you a lot of heartache later on down the road. Okay, so for the purposes of this demonstration, let's say I'm interested in 3 areas: achieving goals, growth, and return on investment. So in order to start, we're going to go to the Review tab, which is right up here. We're going to click on New Comment. That's not exactly what I wanted, so we're going to, oops. Delete that stuff. But let's go to reading the actual document. So I'm looking for things that have to do with achieving goals, growth, and return on investment. So we see here we met or exceeded our objectives. So I'm going to highlight that, go to New Comment, and I'm going to categorize that in goals. Okay. Next, in the next line, we see met our sales objective. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that, do a New Comment. I'm also going to say that that tends to fall under the goals category that I'm interested in. Okay. Next, we have organic sales growth of 2%. All right, I'm going to go ahead and highlight that, but I think that pertains to one of my other categories that I'm interested in, which is growth. All right, we're going to keep going through our documents. Next here, we have more than a full point faster than fiscal 2016. Okay. I'm going to also categorize that as goals. Okay. Next, we're going to continue on, mainly composed of volume growth. Composed of volume growth. I'm going to highlight it, do a New Comment, and I'm going to say this falls under the growth category. But when I look at the text data, I actually think that we could categorize it also in the goals category. So I am going to highlight it again, do a New Comment, and do goals. So what's really important here is that if you are choosing to categorize a piece of text into multiple codes, when you're coding in this document, make sure that you're only using one code per comment. So it's super important that you only do one code per comment. Okay, we're going to keep going. We see next that we exceeded our earning objective. I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to categorize that as goals. And then we're going to do core earnings per share of $3.92, a 7% increase. I'm going to first code that as goals. But to me, that also fits in our growth category. So I'm going to highlight that again, do a New Comment, and growth. And we go down through the document. The next part that I find that fits into the three areas that we're really looking into is we built on our strong track record of returning cash to you. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. And to me, that actually fits into two categories. So we're going to say goals, and then highlight it again. do a new comment and return on investment as my other code. So you can now see the process of searching through our text document and identifying snippets of text that are useful to our analysis. There is another tool that I'd like to show you that can help us find the area that our text codes or the specific snippet of text is located in our document. And this is inserting line numbers. So to do this, you're going to go to Layout, and then that's within the Page Setup menu. I'm going to click on Line Numbers. Oops. There we go. And we're going to do Restart Each Page. Okay, so this will be helpful later on, but it's easiest to go ahead and do this at this particular point. So we're now ready to extract our comments into a separate document. So if you notice, we're going to go up to the top part of our Word screen here, and there is a little tool. It says Doc Tools. So you're going to click on that, and up pops another menu, and you're going to scroll over to where it says Extract Data. I'm going to click on that, and next we're going to go down to Extract Comments. Okay, so we have a little window that pops up, and it says this command lets you extract comments into a new document. Yes, that's what we want to happen. We're going to click Extract Comments. And voila, we have our comments are extracted into a different document. So what we have here, the table provides us the following columns of information: the page, comment scope, comment text, the author, and the date. So I find that we can make this even more user-friendly. So I'm actually going to change comment scope to the title of Textual Data. And comment text to just read code. And author, I'm going to change to coder. And this is actually really helpful if you have multiple people coding the same data set, so you can go back and compare one coder to another. So this table is really helpful in allowing us to see our data in a more user-friendly way than our previous Word document with all the red markup. So we can make it even more user-friendly if we put this table into Excel. So you'll go ahead and click on the arrow in the top left-hand corner, and we are going to copy it. Next, we are going to open an Excel file and paste it into the new document. Okay, so we have it pasted into Excel. If we double click on some of these panes, we can make this look a little bit more user-friendly. So this is just kind of cleaning it up to make it a little bit more visually appealing. Again, you don't have to do this. This is just kind of one of the idiosyncrasies of Dr. Gibson. So completely up to you on how you actually want to view your data in Excel. Okay. I actually want to add a few things to just make it look a little bit easier. I am going to add another column here. Oops. Wrong side. And I'm going to title it line number. So if you remember, we added those line numbers in our Word document. Now this may seem like a little bit more work, and it is, but it can save you a lot of time and hassle later on in your analysis. So what I have here, I actually have a hard copy of this, and so when I went through the comments, oops, I jotted down the line numbers, so I'm just going to go ahead and insert those without having to switch back to our files here. Go ahead and add those in. If you actually do flip back to the Word document, you'll notice that I am only writing the line in which the text started on. So if it carried over onto multiple lines, I'm only saying that the text was on page 1 and it began on line 7, for example. Next, to help us kind of view our data, I'm going to go to the Data tab, and we can actually filter our textual data by certain qualities. So for example, let's say I only wanted to see data that we coded as pertaining to goals. So we can go to the Filter button. We'll click on that. Oops. If I'm only looking for goals, I'm going to select just goals, and voila! Excel only shows me the codes that we coded as goals. So, okay, let's say we want to do something else. All right, that's fine. We're going to clear from the filter. Next, we can also sort our data by clicking on the icons with the A to Z. And this will group our data by sorting it into codes. So, for example, this shows goals, goals, goals all the way down here. And I'm going to scroll down a little bit. It's grouped our codes for growth and also return on investment. So filtering and sorting can be very helpful in letting us see what codes we have. It also gives us an easy mechanism to go back and review our data by identifying specifically within our data document where specific codes and textual data are. It also allows us to compare our coding when we do multiple iterations of coding of the same document and to see if our codes match up. So I hope this is helpful in understanding the coding process specifically for your content analysis project. So please let me know if you have any questions, and I am happy to help. Aloha.